Hi, it's Anthony with Land Title. I wanted to bring you our Greater Metro first to know stats. The first ones you're going to hear every month. Exciting stuff going on as always, but I wanted to kind of bring you the latest and greatest. The appreciation levels are finally starting to slow enough that it's starting to look a little bit more realistic. 8.5% average sales price increase year over year, 10% median. So it's still a bit high. I'd really like to see that come down a little bit farther. There's so much monetary and fiscal policy going on to curb inflation, and basically real estate is still outpacing that like it always does. The other part of the situation would be the attached market. And in Greater Metro, attached is kind of trending along the same roads, but that price point's bouncing around a little bit. It looks like composition of sales brought down the average quite a bit this month. I would say that that's probably not a realistic average right now. I would take an average of maybe the last 4 to 6 months just to really get a better idea of what that's looking like. One of the other things that I think we should probably talk a little bit about is just a bearing on how do you talk with your clients about, you know, what should I really be, how should we really be pricing, right? What's a backup, right? So when people are like, oh, well, my neighbor got X, but we're trying to list realistically today. You can always use the price per square foot as one of those backup measures. If you're buying something, you're like, I don't know, am I overpaying? This is always a good bearing. So when you look at this, look at it like, okay, well, the average price per square foot in Denver Metro is $283. Or, if you go into the city of Denver, it's going to be different. So use this as kind of that bearing of where are we? Are we overpriced? Also, how fast is the tide rising? Well, if the average sales price is only up 6.4%, that's kind of a better metric on what's the average sales price doing overall. And when I said I thought the average was a little low in condo townhouse, this really kind of second guesses that, or like that shows that I think that we're probably more like that 7-8% range, because the condo average price per square foot has only gone up 7%. So it just means that composition of sales can bounce around a little bit, but this is always a good second check. The other part of this that is really important this month, we've been talking a lot about supply. We've been talking a lot about demand. What are buyers and sellers doing? Well, the best way to kind of estimate this and show this is with our active supply of listings and our new listings. So the supply line is actually starting to come down in August, which I didn't really think this would happen. And a lot of that is due to the fact that people didn't list as many homes as expected, right? We actually had a pretty big drop off in new listings coming to market. It was 17.5% down. I think the market's starting to have a rise in inventory, actually scared off some sellers from putting homes on the market, which would really explain what's happening. We still have a decent amount of buyers out there looking and shopping. But we had 4,900 new listings come to market last month. We had 5,900 the month before that. So 1,000 homes didn't come to market. That's actually dropping our active supply of inventory from July to August. So that being said, here we are, not in a much improved market for buyers again. Why I say that is we're back down to 1.4 months of inventory. So this is still a really strong seller's market. Now, what's happening because of this? We have a lot more going under contract again. As more inventory comes on the market, terms become more favorable for buyers. Buyers are going to go back and get active again. So this is a really funky year when you look at our pending numbers. We had interest rates rise. It really fell off with a lot of our pendings. Now that we have supply kind of responding to that, and these people in the listing world maybe not putting homes on the market, now we have a surge of buyers coming back into the market with more of a stronger fall market feel. So hopefully we're getting closer to back to, where we were 2018, 2019 feel rather than below that, because I would expect that kind of in the wash this year, we're going to be similar to 2018, 2019 market. There's going to be some bouncing around and some growing pains in these transitions. The other part of this, though, is we went from 1.6 months of inventory to 1.4 months of inventory. That's not a big change. It probably doesn't feel a ton different, but we are 50% above where we were last year. That is a noticeable difference. So what does that mean in the market, and how does that respond? Well, buyers are putting homes under contract a little bit slower. So average days in MLS went from 13 days, just under 2 weeks, to 18 days, so closer to 2.5, 3 weeks. And that's going to continue to rise. You can see traditionally It's the highest in January and December, and it kind of settles somewhere around May or June. Well, this year we saw the market shift a little early, so April was the lowest point. It's going to trend up from here through the end of the year. It generally does because buyer behavior starts to slow through the holidays. That being said, we're still at nearly 100% listed sale price, 99.5%. We're right back into that 2018 levels, pre-COVID, so 2019, right? And so that's a good sign. We're going to see a pretty stable fall market from what I can tell in the data here. If you have any other questions, I'm Anthony at Land Title, and we have tons of other market data for you. So hit me up if you have any questions, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.